Hey everybody, it's Cybercrime Month. We've been focusing on different types of cybercrimes. Well, today we're going to go into the different types of phishing.
Oh, you want to talk about types of phishing? You want to talk about types of phishing? Well, there's your regular phishing, and then there's your hand phishing, when you go fishing with your hands. That's when you go and you catch a fish with your bare hands. Then there's your deep sea fishing, and there's your fly fishing, and that's where you fishing with flies. You don't actually go fishing for flies. I had a city boy ask me that once. I don't know. I don't even know what he was thinking. There's another type of fishing, and it's dangerous fishing.
Yeah, there are different types of phishing. It seems kind of crazy. I know Fish for me was, especially with the PH, was a band that I followed in the 90s. It was great music. Still love some of their music. It was the 90s. They're still around. Great music. Go check them out. But the phishing we're talking about, it's not that. It's the scarier stuff. So I'm going to go over some of the methods that they use. One of them is deceptive phishing. Now, deceptive phishing is the most frequently used type of phishing there is.
Then we got deceptive fishing, and deceptive fishing, that's where I trick the fish. And I'll be like, oh, fishy, why don't you come over here, fishy, I'm gonna get you, I got something good for you. We catch the fish.
The aim of each phishing attack is to trick a victim into disclosing confidential information, and it's typically carried out by impersonating a legitimate company or some type of reputable source. Now, phishing emails often create a sense of urgency, so the user feels compelled to reply to the email now, as fast as you can. Well, in recent years, phishing scams have become increasingly more sophisticated, even harder to spot. It used to be that there were spelling mistakes and grammatical errors that would just alert you that, hey, something's going on here. And there still are in some cases, but today's phishing emails are well crafted and often difficult to distinguish from the real deal. Deceptive phishing emails take different forms. But the whole thing is, the end result is they're trying to trick a user into resolving some type of issue, such as updating their payment information, or by causing them saying, hey, we want you to, this account's going to be closed unless you click here and do something about it. And if you click here on any of these, as soon as the victim clicks on the link, they are often directed through an almost identical fake site that will ask for their login credentials, and if you put it in there, they've just got all of your information. Deceptive phishing attacks often imitate big brand companies like PayPal or Netflix or Apple or Amazon, as there's a higher chance of people falling for the scam. Users should be wary of emails with generic greetings, urgent and threatening language, spelling mistakes, or URLs that don't match, or if there's a request for personal information. Another type of phishing, spear phishing. Well, what's spear phishing?
Oh, we got the spear fishing too. Now, spear fishing, that one takes some time. You got to have some patience because you get your spear and you be watching out and you be seeing that fishing. You be watching that fishing. Where's that fishing? Where's that fishing? Where's that fishing? But you got to wait. You watch that fishing, but you go after the big fish. You don't go to no little fish when you spear fishing. You get that big fish. You wait and you watch, and when the time is right, bam, you strike them and you get them. You know what I mean? Bam, you strike them and you get them. Be careful out there now. Phishing's dangerous.
Some of the biggest cyber attacks in recent years have all started with a single spear phishing email. See, spear phishing is a more targeted attempt to steal sensitive information and will focus on a specific individual within an organization, usually somebody at the top. A lot more thought and time goes into crafting a spear phishing attack because the fraudsters want to try and find out as much information as they can about their particular victim to make the emails appear legitimate, convincing, and as if they're coming from that person. They will often turn to and investigate a company's website or social media to be able to research their victim. And once they have an understanding of their target, they will start to send personalized emails designed to trick their victim into divulging sensitive information. Now, spear phishing attacks can take many different forms. Some will try and get a victim to click on a link that downloads malicious malware. Others may request login details, or they may be directed through to a site that contains advertisements or keylogging software. Traditionally, security measures have proven to be somewhat ineffective at detecting spear phishing emails, and it's vital that users remain vigilant of this type of attack. Double check the validity of an email if you believe it's suspicious. If you've never gotten an email from the CEO before, you might want to check into why you're suddenly getting one now, and especially why they might be requesting you to send money outside of the organization, especially if you've never done it before. Another type of phishing is social media phishing.
Oh, there's also that remote control phishing. Now, the remote control phishing is not so easy. See, you need a millennial for that because you got to have one of them remote control boats and somebody got to be able to work the boat for you. So you go out there, you get your millennial and they can remote control the boat and it goes around and it catches the fish for you. Bring them right up to the dock. It's pretty neat. I love it.
There's been a real increase in the number of phishing scams that are being carried out in social media. In fact, I saw a report that found a 100% increase taking place in social media platforms. Now, social media phishing is when an attacker uses social media sites, like your Facebook or even LinkedIn or Twitter, to trick users into clicking on malicious links or revealing their personal information. You don't have to do much tricking with some of those people. They put everything out there. Just saying. Social media sites, though, are proving to be a lucrative hunting ground for attackers as they can find a wealth of information about potential victims. You're putting information out there you may not even realize sometimes. And before they launch a targeted attack, like our spear phishing attacks. Users also tend to be more trusting and less suspicious about links within messages on social media. You're no longer at work, I'm relaxed, nobody's gonna come after me, right? That thinking can get you in trouble. It leaves you more vulnerable to an attack. Now, with consumers increasingly interacting with brands through their social media channels, fraudsters have been quick to take advantage of that online type of relationship to launch fake accounts impersonating those major brands. If you really want to be able to have protection against social media phishing scams, you should always make sure you're using the enhanced privacy settings whenever possible. Don't click on suspicious links and never accept a friend request from somebody you're not familiar with. Payments Professor, you have followers and friend request galore coming in. I know, but I don't click on any links when they come in because I do have a lot of people that are sending me requests when it comes to videos. I don't click on the links, but I do look at the request to make sure that they get what they are asking for. This is all about you guys, what I can do to be able to spread the information. But always be careful about sharing your own personal information. Something the Payments Professor only does on video, never does within other posts. Another type is malware-based phishing. Now, with malware-based phishing, the idea is they want to be able to install malware programs on your computer. Malware-based phishing is when an attacker sends an email or an attachment or a downloadable file that once clicked on, it actually infects with a computer virus or with ransomware or some other type of malicious program. That's what happened with the WannaCry, which affected more than 200,000 victims in over 150 countries. You want to hear another crazy type of scam? File sharing scams. Now, with file sharing scams, this is done because we use services like Google Docs or Dropbox. They're very effective ways to be able to save and have documents available everywhere you go. But they've also become an effective way to target users with phishing scams. Because these sites, they're frequently used by us and used by our businesses in some cases. So they tend not to get blocked and in turn are then used as bait for phishing scams. There was one a couple of years ago, around 1 million Google Doc users got hit with a phishing scam that stole their personal data, their personal details, because they clicked on the phishing link. The victims received an email saying, so-and-so has shared a document on Google Docs with you. This in turn led users to a fake Google login page. Now, it's not Google's fault. There's nothing they can do about when you click on a link and go to a bad page. The scam appeared entirely legitimate, as it was actually being hosted, in this case, on Google's server. Again, not their fault. Once they became aware of it, and when they become aware of it, they take action right away. But as soon as the users went to those sites and entered their passwords, they were redirected to a malicious third-party site. I can't stress enough that users should always be extra vigilant about clicking on links and downloading attachments from unknown sources. Two-factor authentication can also be used to provide an extra layer of defense in protecting the security of online accounts. And I know some people tell me, but I don't want to have to do all that extra work. Well, it's a lot more work when you have to go through after you've been a victim of one of these scams than it is to have to enter multiple layers of security. I recommend the multiple layers of security. Now, those are the main types of phishing attacks. We have deceptive phishing, spear phishing, social media phishing, malware phishing, and file sharing scams. If you got any questions or comments, you can message me here on LinkedIn, or you can send me an email, kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. If there's a topic you'd like to have me address, make sure you get that information over to me. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you in future videos and hope you have a marvelous Monday.
Then we got the bow fishing too. That's where you go out there, you poke with the bow, you aim and you shoot it with the bow. It's really fun. And you know when it gets cold too, then we got that ice fishing. And well, come around 4th of July too, we got that blast fishing. It's a blast, because let me tell you, we just light up the dynamite, we throw it in the water, boom, fish come flying out, you just catch them in the bucket. It's so easy to catch fish in a bucket when you go out there fishing. Y'all need to be careful out there on the internet now. There's another type of fishing, and it's dangerous fishing.